the year of the Lord's favor is the ultimate expression of freedom for the oppressed. It marks a return home for those who have been cast away. Right? And again, this sounds like good news. Maybe you have experienced something like this before. Or maybe you've seen this before. You've seen somebody who's been ostracized, and maybe it was in school, or they kind of were welcomed back in at some point, and how happy they were. Or maybe you just saw a kid get detention, and then when he finally gets freed into recess, you see the happiness in his face. But I think although we kind of pause here and we're like, yeah, that sounds great, freedom for the oppressed, freedom for the poor. I want to say that this might not be comfortable, good news for us. And that's because the poor may not actually be around us. Right? Who are the poor in Jesus' day? I think nowadays we have actually a very different understanding of poor. For us, if you don't have a lot of stuff, you might say, well, I'm poor. Right? But what makes you poor then? It's the absence of stuff. Right? You might say, I don't have money, or I don't have a permanent home or something like that, and you might feel poor. But back in that day, that would also make you poor, but there would be a whole other list of categories that would do it for you. It depended on kind of who you were as well, your identity, what ethnic group you were from, what kind of work you were doing, whether you were from the countryside or in the city. What languages did you speak? Were you a woman? There are all these layers that kind of pushed a person down in that day and age. And so Jesus, when he says, I've come to bring good news to the poor, he's not just talking about people who don't have stuff. He's talking about people who are marginalized, those who have been cast aside, those in society would kind of just try not to make eye contact with, right? And Jesus saying, I came to release those people, to look them in the eye, like what Pastor Aaron said last week, to touch the leper and give them dignity. And so this is not necessarily comfortable, good news for us, because these poor in our lives may not be around us. Right? And I'm not saying that we ignore the needs of our own community, but I am saying that the message of God's favor usually starts in the darkest places.